Welcome to the ultimate showdown, Battle of the Tech Titans. Bill Gates versus Steve Jobs. Two men with very different visions, who changed the way we interact with technology forever. Their rivalry was more than just about creating better products, it was personal. Let's take a look at the drama, the struggles, the conflicts that define the relationships between these two tech giants. Welcome to Zapped, where we tell the stories of the most inspiring and visionary figures in tech history. In the early days, when both Bill Gates and Steve Jobs were just starting out in the tech industry, Gates, with his background in computer programming, co-founded Microsoft in 1975. Jobs, on the other hand, co-founded Apple in 1976. They were both young and ambitious, with a passion for technology and a desire to change the world. But little did they know, their paths would soon cross and set the stage for one of the most intense rivalries in tech history. It all started with Macintosh. In 1984, Apple released the Macintosh. The first personal computer with a graphic user interface, or GUI. It was revolutionary and a major threat to Microsoft's dominance in the PC market. Gates, who just released Windows, saw Macintosh as a direct threat to his company's future, and thus began the first major conflict between the two tech giants. Throughout the 80s and 90s, Gates and Jobs continued to compete head-to-head with each other, trying to outdo the other in terms of innovation and market share. They engaged in a war of words, with both men publicly criticizing each other's products and business practices.
The problem with Microsoft is they just have no taste. They have absolutely no taste, and what that means is, I don't mean that in a small way, I mean that in a big way.
Gates called the Macintosh a closed system and criticized its lack of compatibility with other software. Jobs, on the other hand, called Windows a bloated, buggy mess and criticized Microsoft's monopoly on the PC market. The rivalry between the two companies only intensified with the release of Windows 95.
Please welcome Bill Gates and the Bill Gates Dancers!
We wanted people to be able to appreciate how Windows 95 makes computing faster, easier, and more fun.
Which included features that were clearly inspired by Macintosh. Apple saw this as an infringement of their intellectual property and filed a lawsuit against Microsoft. The lawsuit dragged on for years and ultimately ended with a settlement. But the damage had been done. The relationship between the two companies, and by extension between Gates and Jobs, had reached a boiling point. As the new millennium dawned, the rivalry between Microsoft and Apple took on a new dimension. With the launch of the iPod in 2001,
iPod has got Apple design. We've got one of the best design teams in the world, and they have done a remarkable job. And let me show you. This is what iPod looks from the side. Again, about 3/4 of an inch.
And the Zune in 2006, the two companies were now competing in a burgeoning market for digital music players. Once again, it was a battle of innovation, with Apple's sleek, user-friendly iPod taking the lead and Microsoft's Zune struggling to catch up. But despite the intense competition between their companies, there were moments when it seemed the two men could put aside their differences. In 2007, Jobs invited Gates to participate in an on-stage interview at the All Things Digital conference. They talked about their history, their competition, and how they had inspired each other over the years. The audience was taken aback by the sight of these two rivals sitting on stage together, cordially reminiscing about the past.
I think, but the biggest thing was Bill was really focused on software before almost anybody else.
Well, first I want to clarify, I'm not fake Steve Jobs.
PC guy is great.
I like
He's got a big heart. We've kept our marriage secret for over a decade now. I think of most things in life as either a Bob Dylan or a Beatles song. But there's that one line in that one Beatles song, you and I have memories longer than the road that stretches out ahead. And that's clearly true here.
Jobs. You know, Bill, we've had a pretty unique relationship over the years. We've had our ups and downs, but ultimately we both know that we've made each other better. Gates responds, absolutely. There's no denying the competition between our companies has driven innovation and progress forward. But as the interview ended,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
it became clear the cordiality was only temporary. The competition between Microsoft and Apple was far from over, and the rivalry between Gates and Jobs was far from resolved. The two tech titans continued to square off in the years that followed, with Apple's iPhone and iPad taking on Microsoft's Windows Phone and Surface. And even though Jobs passed away in 2011, his legacy and influence continues to shape the tech industry today. But when it comes down to it, the true legacy of Bill Gates and Steve Jobs is the impact they had on our daily lives. Their rivalry was not only driven technological innovation, but it has also changed the way we interact with the world around us. And for that, we owe them a debt of gratitude. Thanks for watching Zapped. And don't forget to leave a comment below to let us know who you think won the ultimate showdown, Bill Gates or Steve Jobs.
Someone wanted me to keep in touch with their business, so look what they gave me. Ditch the cardstock, save the trees, and join the future with Zapped. Instantly share your contact details with prospective customers with just a tap using the Zapped NFC card or tag.